on in. You know, people ask me, where do you find all these interesting people? Well, you know, our neighbors are all over our community, and there are just wonderful, interesting people. And today I have a special interesting person, and his name is, maybe your wife doesn't think so, I don't know.
Interesting is probably a good word. Probably kind.
He's Matthew Hawkins, the Paper King, and he is the president, creative talent, marketing director of Custom Paper Toys.
Yep, floor sweeper, all those things. That's me.
Oh, you do that too?
Oh,
If you take outside assignments, letting me know. But he is the most wonderful creative guy, and he does paper toys. He started, as many of the artists that are around Kansas City that have branched out, he started with Hallmark and paper cups. Tell me about tell these really nice folks about your paper cup, 4-ounce paper cups.
Yeah, so when I first started working at Hallmark, they had these free pop machines, and so you'd push a button and a little plastic cup would pop down and fill up with a little bit of Coke or or Sprite or whatever you're drinking. And I just had my first baby. I needed the caffeine, so I was hitting that pop machine a lot because I didn't drink coffee. And by the end of the day, I had all these cups on my desk, and then just one day I just happened to turn one over and I drew like a little face on it and kind of set it there. And the next day I came in, I took some cardstock and I cut out little hands and feet, put there, the next day I came in, I built a little car for it, and then, before you know it, I had like the city of characters and buildings and all these things all over my desk made out of cardstock and cups. And about that time, somebody from the paper engineering department came down. He's like, "Oh, that's some great paper engineering." I was like, "Shh, don't tell anybody. I'm just messing around."
Now you were an artist,
right? I was working there as a production artist.
Yeah.
So, so it's just something I was just kind of doing for fun. Yeah, and these guys are like, "Oh," kind of took me under the wing. Said, "Come down and check out the paper engineering department." And they showed me all this amazing stuff. And about that same time, I started coming across stuff online that people were like, where you could download a PDF, print it on your printer at home, and you could cut it out and build it. And I was just mesmerized by that. So it was just kind of magic to me. It was like, it's like ones and zeros, and then it's a piece of paper, and then it's like a three-dimensional object,
Yeah, that's wonderful.
So.
Well, you stayed at Hallmark, and then you worked for C3.
Creative Consumer Concepts. Yeah.
And they do lots of different things.
Yeah, they do kids and family marketing, so they do a lot of stuff for in the restaurant industry and in the family things where they make toys and activity books.
So you kind of honed your skills there.
Just lots of fun stuff. Yeah, they called me and said, "Hey, we saw what you're doing on your website, and we want you to do exactly what you're doing, but just come and do it here, and we'll pay you for it." And I was like, "Done.
Hey, sounds
Let's do
good
it."
to me.
Yeah, and so I'm still there a few days a week. Yeah, they've.
Well, what possessed you to think that a grown man could make a living? Doing this is kind of.
I know, it's weird, right? I guess I didn't get into it to make a living. I just got into it because it was fun. It was just fun, and like paper's just always around, and it was abundant, and it was something I could do at my desk on my lunch break. And yeah, I guess I didn't study it in school. It's never like a career path I thought I'd have. I just started making these things I love to do, started sharing it, and people started latching onto it and saying like, "Hey, we could use your skills." And yeah, so I managed to squeak out a living doing it. So
you do better than squeak out a living,
so,
Matt. You do really well.
Beats working, that's for sure.
We're going to tell you how well in just a minute here. I asked Matt to bring some of the things in the rough as how he starts. And you have to remember now, he is an artist. So I'll show you the end result, but this is going to be an invitation. So this is what he started with. And this is what he thinks that it's going to look like when he gets through. See, he gives himself little notes. And this is one of his sketches, and
yeah,
then
just a rough marker sketch.
Yeah, and then sorry about that. He won't mind if we turn him back up. Yeah. This is the Scarecrow.
Yeah, these are some sketches I did for Paul Messner Puppet Theater, who's going to be putting on The Wizard of Oz at Crown Center this summer, and so I got the opportunity to help design that production and design the puppets and stuff.
See, and that's fun too.
Oh, it's so much fun.
And so this is the Scarecrow. Oh. Yeah. There he is.
You got the Tin Man.
And they're such happy little persons.
They are very
They're
happy.
almost, they become human, don't they?
Yeah. Oh, You should see the puppets they're working on. It's amazing to
Now
see
you
these
don't
things
talk
come
to
to
them,
life.
do you? We're in trouble. if that's right. But isn't that cute?
Sometimes
Oh,
late at night.
I insist on turning them upside down. Look at there.
I could have
There's-
paginated those, I guess.
That's right. Well, sometimes people stand on their heads and try to do the right thing, I guess, or the wrong thing. And there's the wizard.
Yeah.
Now you chose to make them all smile.
Mm-hmm. That's true. So, but the great thing about some of the puppets is they've actually put in parts of the puppets that'll actually move and change their expressions.
Oh, do they?
So yeah.
So they said, sorry, Matt, they can't always smile.
No, just for the narrative, you need
Yeah.
those different things.
Now, but Dorothy's going to look pretty much like this.
Yeah, that's the idea. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
You got the Wicked
Isn't
Witch.
she fun? And you gave her an eye patch.
Yep. In the original books, in the original book illustrations, she had an eye patch. So.
Did she really?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, there, we didn't know that, did we?
Yeah.
That
So our
the-
source material is definitely the book because because it's in the public domain. So.
Isn't she fun? Did you make any of these in paper or just sketches?
Just sketches right now. Yeah. The next thing is we're going to make some in paper. Well, actually, we did do a Toto in paper, but
Oh, the winged monkey.
you got the winged monkey and.
And he looks like he could get in trouble with no, and they did, as you may recall.
I did. Yeah. Yep.
Isn't he cute?
So he's got a smile, but it's a little bit more
And
menacing.
there's Toto. Oh, isn't that cute? That is so cute.
Yeah, so these are just rough marker drawings that I do. Sometimes I'll do digital sketches, but I'm still kind of a traditionalist. I still like to
Yeah.
get out the
Well,
markers.
now
and-
when you take these to Messner, if they don't like what you've done, if they don't like your interpretation, they will tell you to make a change.
Yeah,
or-
and then we'll make some revisions. It's the great thing about that project is it really is a collaboration between me and the guy and Mike Horner that's making the puppets, and it's been
well,
been a
Paul
blast.
Messner retired,
Yes, yep. So this will be the first big production, I think.
and
his retirement,
of course, everybody's favorite, the Cowardly Lion. He looks confused. Isn't that fun?
So.
Did they make any changes in any of these, or did they have a chance?
There's some of the things that we needed to change just so that they could be used as puppets. Some of the things just for the lighting purposes and for different things. Yeah. So it's been a learning experience, but man, it's been a great, fun project.
Okay, now
Yeah.
let's go back, and I want to show you the jukebox one more time. And there is the invitation. Okay, so this then is the next iteration. This is the next thing Matt does. I'm going to turn it around. And there it is. I got it backwards again. See, it's all plain, so you'll have to forgive me, Matt.
Nice.
Okay, here we go. Now, there's, not very interesting, but
Right.
that's it.
It's kind of like a dimensional sketch. So the next thing I'll do is I'll just start cutting out shapes and start gluing them together and see what works and see what doesn't work, and then whittle it down from there.
What do you use to cut the paper with? An X-Acto knife?
X-Acto knife. Yep.
Okay, so we've got the jukebox, and so the bones are here.
Yep.
Okay. So, guess what? I'm going to get this turned right, Matt. This is the final invitation.
Yeah.
Is that cute or not? And there it is.
Yeah. So that's what people get in the mail.
And this is what they get in the mail. I bet they keep those.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the fun thing about this paper stuff is it's like, I mean, you can get a digital invite, but there's nothing you're going to get digitally that can do what these pop-ups can do.
But I just think, but see, it's not as easy as just slamming this stuff together. It takes, now, how long does it take you to think? You get the commission, then you have to decide what you think it should look like. Then you make the sketch, you show it to the client, yes, no, maybe, whatever, and
Right.
then you do one of those ghostly ones. And then you start. Now we're talking about quite a bit of time here.
Yeah, it can take a lot of time. The more I do it, the sooner I can come to a solution. But
How long does something like this take you?
gosh, probably a solid 10 hours, probably, from like engineering it, doing the illustration. Another thing to consider is something like this is it's a production piece. So I constantly have to have in mind the production capabilities, what kind of printer it's going to be printed on, how it's going to be mailed, all those things.
Well, and you don't have a machine that glues these parts down.
No,
do you?
yeah, it's all
So that's all hand,
hand. Yep.
as they say, hand did.
Yeah, yeah. Done by hand, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, I always think about the joke. The guy bought two scarves for his, wanted to buy a scarf for his wife, and he went to the store, and one of them was $30, and one of them was $250, and he said, they look just alike to me. And she said, well, honey, this one's hand did. So you see, it does. You have to pay for the time that you put in.
Yeah.
Now, these are they're not all art. They're engineering, and you're not an engineer. So how'd you learn how to do this?
I guess I tell people, like, everyone's like, oh, you must be great at geometry. You must have a real mathematical mind, but I don't. But I am patient enough to do it wrong 5 times until it finally becomes right, you know? Especially with the pop-ups, you know, I'll always think I have it figured out. I'll start laying it out, I'll put it together, and it doesn't work, of course. So I have to go back to the drawing board and do it again. So it's this combination of trial and error, but it's that discovery that I just love about that work, you know? And so that's what keeps me going, because everybody's like, oh, you should just put it into like a 3D modeling program and then you can figure it out instantly, but that takes the discovery out of it. And also just enjoy like the zen of craft. I just love getting off the computer screen, sitting down with the knife and, like, you know, making something with my hands. So it's kind of the best of both worlds.
So you really don't have a job, you just have fun every day.
Pretty much,
Cutting
you know,
and
fun
pasting.
with a deadline.
Cutting and pasting.
With a deadline hanging over your head.
Yes. Well, you're busy.
So,
You-
yeah, keep busy, that's for sure.
Well, now let's just, before we look at some of the wonderful things, how did you let people know when you started Custom Paper Toys? I mean, there is such a thing as eating in this world.
Right, true.
And how did you start telling people what you did and creating a business?
Yeah, I mean, initially, I had the job at Hallmark, and I was doing well there, and they kept me employed, and they paid for both my children to be born, so that was great. So at that point in my life,
And you didn't have any more children after you left Hallmark.
yeah, exactly. But so they at that point in my life, though, I wasn't as concerned about like what I was going to do for money, so I just started doing these things, and I really enjoyed it, and I was just like, well, if I enjoy it, maybe I'll put it out online. I'll start a website. I'll put it on some blogs, and
So that's how you marketed it.
yeah. And so one of the things I really liked about it was I can create one of these things, and then make a PDF that somebody could actually cut and build. So I made this commitment to do one every month of a new little paper toy that anybody anywhere around the world with a printer and a few hours to kill could build. So I started putting one up every month, and then I started getting like all these photographs of people from all over the world, like sending me like my little toy like in their house. It was amazing, you know. And so I just started doing it online. I guess.
Can you
the internet.
sell a toy of the month or something like that?
So-
Can you do that?
What's that?
Can you sell a toy of the month?
You
or-
know, I usually just put those up there on my website for free. That's kind of what got me into it to begin with, and it's what's propelled me. And you know, like people will share that, and it'll get on blogs and
And the
stuff.
website is, if anybody wants to.
CustomPaperToys.com.
Okay, that's
Yep.
easy.
Yeah.
I just love these things. I want to show you what he brought. And we're going to start up in the top here. See, and they look so nice. We'll just leave them there.
I know, it's beautiful. Nice display.
We'll start with the pumpkin up there on the top. I love him.
Yeah, so-
Why did you do that?
So this is actually a Halloween mask. It actually has straps on the back, so you could put that sucker on your face. And it was just around Halloween time, and I think myself, like a lot of artists, are just obsessed with Halloween because there's such great iconography and history. So I just decided, you know what, I'm going to make a Halloween mask of my own because I didn't like any of them that were in the store. So I built this guy, and then we actually ended up building it into a series of 4 masks called Kooky Creeps.
Kooky Creeps.
Yep, and I'm working with a publisher now to get those published.
Will they come out in a book
in a
so
book
that you
form,
can kind
yeah.
of punch them out?
You punch them out, and you'll tab and slot them together and make your own Halloween masks.
Fun. And they're heavier paper like this?
Yeah, it's pretty thick cardstock, yeah.
Well, one of the favorites, I'm sure, of the younger people that are watching is that spaceship.
The Star Wars, yeah, Millennium Falcon, yeah.
Yes. And what do you call it?
It's the Millennium Falcon, yeah.
Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, and the cool thing about that one and the BB-8, the 2 Star Wars toys, those are actually available right now in Costco.
At Costco.
Yeah.
Now, they don't come already made. You have to put them together?
That's right. These are actually kind of like 3D puzzles, so the pieces on these are actually kind of thicker, like a jigsaw puzzle piece, as opposed to paper.
And what holds them together?
They're all just tabs and slots, so it's just little tabs and little slots.
so you just go click and
You
then
just
click and click.
Clip them together, yeah.
That is
And they come
really-
with a book, and the book has a box on the back, and the box has all the parts you need to build
Well,
the
so
Galaxy.
you have to have somebody that does that, don't you? That you talk to about the packaging.
Yes, and so this project was a project that I had done for a packager who contacted me. He's like, "Hey, we want to do these Star Wars things," and then, yeah. So I mean, yeah, Disney's involved in that. You know, Costco is involved. Like, lots of people involved in
So
getting those
now
to
you
market.
need a lawyer. You've gotten to
Oh,
the point.
well, you know, that's definitely one of the things you learn about being an artist. There's lots,
That's right.
lots.
I
on
have to
there.
tell you though, Matt, my favorite is the next one, and it says it's a pencil,
Yeah.
and it says "I regret nothing." I
Yeah.
just think that is so funny. Now, why did you do that?
Well, I'm strangely sentimental about things, and I'd noticed that like around my desk I'd had all these tiny little pencils because I know it's superstitious, but when you get a pencil that draws well, some of them just do. I mean, you just keep it around until you've sharpened it till nothing. And so this was my tribute to all those brave pencils that gave their life in service of the creative
I love it.
life. So
I just
Yeah.
love it. Your sense of humor peeks through, Matt. It does.
Yeah.
Now, Matt is, he also is a musician. He
Yeah.
plays the banjo.
I do.
Now, that may be sort of you, Matt.
It could be a bit of me, yeah, and a bit of everybody else I know and hang out with on a regular basis.
That's right. What is,
Yeah.
and why did you do that? Do you sing too?
Yes,
Oh,
Yep,
'cause I was
sing
going
and
to say
play and-
it's coming out loud there.
Yeah.
And he's got his uvula back there.
Yeah, you can
showing-
see it right back there. You know, we had to make it medically accurate.
That's right. That's right. And you
Um,
play the ukulele too, don't you?
I'm gonna
No.
play a little bit of everything with strings. Yeah, you know.
Isn't he cute? And you
Why do
made
one thing
him
good when you can
in,
do
in
lots of
tribute
things?
to yourself, I guess.
You know, actually, kind of in a tribute to just a lot of the people I know and a lot of people. That's what I love about being a musician and an artist. I get to hang out with just the most interesting, amazing, creative, crazy, weird people all day long and all
Yeah,
night
but-
long. So this was kind of, it's really a kind of an amalgamation.
Amalgamation.
Yes, there you go. Ding.
Yes.
Of a lot of people I know. Yeah. So.
See, but isn't it wonderful to be creative and associate with, because they keep your juices going.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
And that's important.
I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today if it wasn't for being surrounded by just some of the most amazing people.
Now, your wife
All the
is a
time.
nurse,
That's right.
and she doesn't do this.
Nope.
So, what does she think about all these wonderful people and your creative genes
I
and
think
juices?
I think she
and-
likes it. Yeah. You know.
I bet she does. I think
Um,
she's encouraged you.
We definitely. There's no way I could be doing what I was doing. I would probably be at the night shift right now at Quick Trip if it wasn't for her. So
Yeah.
she's constant, gentle guidance and encouragement.
So you do try to behave yourself.
Yeah, I try.
Now, here we go with a partially done.
Yes.
What do you want to
uh-huh.
call him?
So this one's kind of a rough mock-up of kind of part of my process is I call it dimensional sketching. So you can kind of see I'm starting to block the colors in, starting to get some of the main shapes, seeing what works and what doesn't. And so I'll make 3 or 4 of these in the process of making the final piece. Yeah.
Well, see, and you chose blue in the mock-up
Mm-hmm.
and black in the for his body, his
Uh-huh.
from the waist up.
Yeah. So you can see little different changes, just kind of the
Well, and the
proportions.
green's darker too, isn't it?
Yeah.
In the other one.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, you have to have patience, Matt, to do this.
Yes, I guess it takes patience. I just enjoy what I'm doing it, so it doesn't feel like patience.
Well, it does take patience.
But it does, yeah.
But did you sketch these out first?
Yeah, I
So
usually,
we had sketches just like we do for the
Mhm,
puppets.
yeah.
Oh.
And one of the things, a lot of the way I'll come up with the characters is I'll keep a piece of paper under my keyboard, so even if I'm answering emails or paying bills, I'll constantly be kind of doodling, and every once I'll be like, oh, that's kind of a fun shape, or that's a cool character, and then I'll sketch that out even more, and then it'll become one of these guys.
Well, where are you? What do you do? How do you think up? I mean, you have to keep thinking all the time, buddy,
Yeah.
because once your creative juices get stalled, or your pipes get locked up, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
So, where are you what goes through your mind?
Yeah.
To me, people who do what you do, I am extremely interested in what goes through your mind. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, see, I think that's what everybody's like. Oh, what if you run out of ideas? But I think it's kind of impossible. I feel like I mean, like sitting here talking to you, this interview, like I'm constantly experiencing new things, meeting
You're going to
new
make
people.
a little old lady? When
You never know. So, but you see shapes and you see ideas and like, I think, and everybody's surrounded by that stuff. They just don't put it in context of art. So it's like, I think I learned really early when I first started drawing. I was obsessed with comic strips, and so I'd like, how do you come up with funny ideas? And then as soon as I started looking for them, like every day, I was like, oh, I'm laughing like 20 times a day. There's something funny going on. But nobody would say, well, I had 20 great ideas for a comic strip today. But when I was in that mindset to look for it, I mean, they were all around. And so the same thing with all this. I mean, I'm just surrounded by characters and ideas and my kids and, I mean, everything. That's what's great. So even rough patches, even sleepless nights can create something.
Noises?
Yeah, I mean, everything can. So that's, I mean, it's a great way to go through life with that lens.
So you're not in any particular place or in any particular time of day, or that you have your
I guess nighttime's
brainwaves.
definitely, if anybody wanted to get the best out of me, they'd definitely let me come into work at 1 o'clock.
in the
In the afternoon, let me sleep till noon, wake up, go to work at 1,
Oh, man.
and go to bed at like, 6 o'clock. Something about the nighttime, I think it's because
It's quiet.
the experiences of the day, when I wake up, I'm just like, you're kind of a clean slate, But at nighttime, you've had all these different experiences of the day and all these emotions and all these things going through you that I think it's just, it just adds up on me by the end of the day, and I just feel really creative.
Do you keep a notebook with you? I know you have a piece of paper under your keyboard, but
Yeah.
do you have a notebook in your pocket?
Well, what's funny is I carry around a backpack, and I always carry around just tons of loose leaf paper, kind of like those sketches. And it's a terrible way to organize anything, but I just have stacks and stacks of these sketches everywhere. Somebody's like, oh, you should just get a sketchbook. But the one thing to me is, like, the only thing that intimidates me sometimes is that blank piece of paper. It's like, it's just so infinite what you could put on this paper that it kind of like intimidates me. So a sketchbook is just a giant book of things ready to gang up on you. So I just take it one piece of paper at a time. So that's how I do it.
When you say infinity or infinite,
Yeah.
I was listening to the radio the other day, and they were talking about infinity. And
I heard that too.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, on Science Friday.
And yeah, that's right. And they said, well, there's no such thing as infinity, because then the next person can have infinity plus one.
Right. Yeah.
So you're gonna be one of those little old people that pass away, and they have to dig you through the papers to find you, man.
Yeah. Hopefully not because of the papers.
That's
but
right. Well, tell me, you have gotten to the point. Tell me some of the people. Well, tell these people some of the people that you provide interesting paper sculptures for.
Yeah.
They'll be amazed.
Yeah, I've got to work for some great companies, some big companies like Disney and Warner Brothers.
What did Warner Brothers want?
We did some. We actually did some paper bobbleheads of the Justice League characters, so like Batman, Superman, that kind of stuff. The Disney opportunity was great because I actually do kind of these paper sculptures that they sell at the theme parks in their art galleries down there. That's a lot of fun. I've done some work for Crayola.
What did they want?
You know what? We're doing. I don't know if I can say a whole lot about that one because I'm under contract. But
Well, if you can't, then don't. That's all right.
But just some fun stuff for kids to build and color and some stuff like that.
That take Crayolas to finish.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Yeah. So I really love doing those projects where it's like.
Didn't I read where you did something for one of the food chains?
Yes. Yeah. We've done stuff for Arby's, and that's through C3. Yeah. We've done some great stuff for them.
What do they want? Little toys that go in the box?
Yeah, exactly. And so what we provide with, especially with these paper toys, is it's just not a toy that somebody gets and you throw it in the back seat. This is like a project, and like families can come together and build it, and it's like, and it's a good creative opportunity where you wouldn't think of one, at a fast food restaurant,
No, you wouldn't.
So.
And but you've built that business. You might even come close to making a living there, man.
Someday. Doesn't kill me first.
Well, this is what you said. You said that you literally build nothing as you can get and still have a physical presence. A piece of paper into something. You take nothing and build it into something that has a real physical presence.
Yeah, I guess that's.
You said it,
right.
Matt.
Yeah, well.
And I think that's really true. I mean, a piece of paper is just that.
I mean, it's humble, it's ephemeral, it's temporary. Yeah.
If somebody wants you where do they find you, Matt? At your, do you have a
Yeah,
webpage?
CustomPaperToys.com is probably the best place. I got my portfolio there and contact information. That's probably the best and easiest way to find me.
Matt's available for work.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think it's wonderful. So what are you working on now, besides the puppets?
Yeah, so we're doing the puppets, we're doing the pop-up card. I'm working on actually my first writing and illustrating of a pop-up book.
For children?
For children, yeah. So.
And is it, did you write the words?
Yes, uh-huh. Yep.
And it's about?
So it's kind of about, it's about a cat, and it's about different ways different people can perceive others. So the idea is, so through the book, we get a glimpse of how each person in a family views this cat, how the dog views the cat, how the mom views the cat, how the kids view the cat, through a series of pop-ups. Yeah, and so it's kind of a lesson about, like, you know, kind of perception and then how do you become who you are despite how everybody else sees you. So.
Well, and that's sort of interesting too, because we all see through different lenses.
Right, and that's what the book's
and
about, yeah.
Hopefully your book encourages people not to be judgmental.
Yeah.
And to be accepting of people who may be different.
Yeah.
And that's okay too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that you are extremely fortunate in that you are in the company of really creative people.
Oh yeah.
Do you get any? Do you have a particular friend that you get good ideas from?
Gosh, you know, almost all of them. You know, for a while I was doing full-time freelance, and I was kind of working on my own, and like, I kind of went back and I'm doing some few days at C3 now because I really enjoyed being around other creatives, and I didn't know how much I'd miss it until I was like.
Now they do something just a little different than you do, though.
In the studio, yeah. So everybody kind of does their things, but they have illustrators and writers.
Yeah.
And then when I freelance, I have a studio down in the West Bottoms, and we have photographers, we have painters, and we have like all these different
And
people.
they give you ideas too.
Yeah, I mean, and just being down there gives me ideas. You know, it's just there's just so much history down there. Yeah, so.
So you can really move about, be inspired. Look what you do. I mean, this makes my soul smile, Matt.
Oh, well, thanks.
It does. It does.
Well,
and I want to be sure that we show your.
Oh yeah, the rally mantis.
Yes. And as we look at that rally mantis, you know, the Royals had the, whatever you want to call it, the pet for a while.
Yeah, and good luck.
I would have to say, Matt, thank you so much. Matt Hawkins.
Thank you for having me.
He's truly a Renaissance man, and he has a playful way. This is what somebody else said about you. He has a playful way of seeing things that unique and inspiring. He never seems to run out of ideas. Heaven help you if you do, Matt.
Well, yeah.
But he is truly a Renaissance man. I don't know what else to say about you,
thanks,
man.
that's kind.
And I'm so pleased that he would come and show us what he does, and let me introduce you to one of our neighbors, because after all, it is our community. I'm Mary Davidson, and I will be looking for you again soon.